Hi everyone, today I'm going to be filming a video how to make these diaper covers, and they have the elastic in the waist. Yeah, I'm not going to be using the exact same cotton, but the cotton that I used for these particular ones is this, which is from the Hobie website, and this is like really thin, like what you use to make doilies with. It's like finger weight yarn. This is really good for like little bloomers underneath a skirt or a dress, because they're just really thin and lightweight. There's also this option if you live in Australia and you go to Spotlight. This is the cheapest cotton option. It's the Four Seasons Flinders Cotton 8 ply. This is also really soft, nice quality yarn. You're just going to need a crochet hook. Just use whichever one is recommended on the back of the label of whichever yarn you're using. You're also going to need elastic for the waistband, and yeah, I think that's about it. I'll kind of try to explain how to make it different sizes. These particular ones are for a size 000, which is a 0 to 3 months, I'm pretty sure. So pretty much for a newborn. So yeah, we'll get started. Okay, so what you want to start off doing is just make your slip knot, and then I'm going to chain 15. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whoops. I'm still trying to get used to like looking in the viewfinder of the camera and crocheting. Anyway, so up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And this is the waistband. It's going to loop over like this, and that's where your elastic will go through. If you don't want to do elastic, you can just chain 10 and do what I'm about to do, and then just crochet a chain like this as a drawstring. But I think it comes out really nice quality, and they just seem better with the elastic waistband, and they fit a lot better as well. So now what I'm going to do is called a ribbed stitch. So we're just going to crochet into the back loops only. Usually the rib stitch you do single crochet. I'm going to be using double crochet. So into the second chain from the hook, I'm going to double crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. And then you want to chain 1. So after each row you want to chain 1, remember that. And then you don't want to go into that chain 1 space that we just made there. You want to go into the first stitch space. So now this is how we make the rib stitch. So I'm going to be going into the second loop, not the first loop, just into the second loop. Just like that. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and the last stitch 14, and then chain 1. And now we want to continue this, and once I finish I'm going to measure it and then tell you how long I've made it, because I haven't actually written down what I'm doing. I'm just copying what I've already made because I freehand everything, so I'm really bad with patterns. But yeah, once I'm finished that I'll tell you and then we'll go to the next step. Okay, so here's your waistband complete, and you want to make this waistband 43 centimeters long. So measure that out. If you're doing a different size, just get a pair of pants or get another diaper cover you have and measure from here to here. So at the largest part around the hip area, you want to measure that, double it so it's around, so when it's in half it will be the same size as here to there. So now we're going to fold this in half like this. So now we are going to half double crochet this together. There's no proper way to do this. Just try to even it out as well as you can. I just kind of go into any holes that are there. It's a little bit hard to do on camera. But I just like go into any holes like that and just try to space them out as evenly as you can. It's probably not going to be perfect, but it's really hard to get perfect, so yeah. It's also super hard with this cotton because this cotton's pretty splitty. I never buy this cotton anymore. I actually just found it downstairs in this like storage container where I've just chucked all this yarn in that I don't use and don't really want to like maybe sell it in the future. So I found it down there and I was like, I can probably use that. Because everything I make in a video, it doesn't really get used for anything. I might gift it to someone, but everything that I sell, I use specific yarns for it. So yeah. So as you can see, just going into random holes, and as you can see here, you just want to crochet it together. So you'll have this little tube and that's where your elastic's going to go through. So I'm going to finish that off all the way to the end, and then I'm going to show you what to do next. Okay, so as you can see, it's not perfect at all. So now we're going to join it together so it'll be in a circle. So all I'm going to do is go to this first stitch here. Accidentally chained one here. Don't chain one, just end your stitch off there and then go around to the other side and go into that first stitch and then make a slip stitch. So go through there, go through there, and then chain one, and now I'm going to double crochet into the first stitch, and then I'm just going to continue my double crochets all the way around, and then each row you just slip stitch, chain one, and continue. So then you just want to continue going around and around and around, and then I'll tell you how long I make it. So there will be a seam here. You can't avoid it, but it's not very noticeable. So yeah, it depends what yarn you're using, it depends what size you're using, but you just want to crochet down from the hips to the hip area, the waist to the hips, and then we'll start on this crotch area here. So I'll keep going with mine and then I'll measure it when I come back to see how long I made it for a newborn size. Okay, so I've crocheted down, so you'll have a little tube like this. So from the top here, the top of the waistband, down to the bottom, it's 10 centimeters. So you want to keep crocheting until you've got 10 centimeters or how big you need it if you're doing another size. So now I'm going to start on this section here. All I'm going to do first of all is mark it with stitch markers so I know how big to do it, and then I'm going to measure it and tell you guys so you can just do it quickly and won't have to muck around. Okay, so I've just marked it with the stitch markers. So for the front section, you want to measure roughly 6.3 inches or 16 centimeters. And then for the back portion, you want to measure 19 centimeters or 7.5 inches, or however big you want it. So now all I'm going to do is attach my yarn. I'm just going to start the front section. So I'm just going to attach it here where my first stitch marker was. Chain one, and then I'm going to start a half double crochet row. And as I go, I'm just going to crochet the end in. So I'm just going to half double crochet until I get to the other stitch marker, which is here, and then I'll be back. Okay, so this is where my other stitch marker was, so I just did a row of half double crochet from stitch marker to stitch marker, then I've chained one to start a new row, and now this is where we're going to begin decreasing. So on each side with every row we're going to do the double crochet 2 together stitch. So how we do that is we yarn over, go into the first stitch, pull your yarn through, yarn over again, go into the second stitch and pull your yarn through, and then yarn over and pull the yarn through all the loops like that. And then we've just turned 2 stitches into 1 stitch. So that's how we're going to decrease, and I'm just going to now double crochet all the way along until I get to the other side, and then do the exact same thing in the last 2 stitches. So now I'm coming up to the last 2, oh JK, there's 3 stitches. So I'll go into that 3rd stitch. Now there's 2 stitches left. So again, we're going to double crochet 2 together. So I'm going to yarn over, go into that second last stitch, pull my yarn through, yarn over again, go into the last stitch, pull my yarn through, and now you'll have 5 loops on the hook, and you want to pull the yarn through all those 5 loops. And I'm going to chain 1 and turn, and we are going to do the exact same thing. So we're going to do a double crochet 2 together. So I'm just going to repeat that again into those 2 stitches like that, and then I'm going to double crochet, and I'm going to double crochet all the way along until I get to the last 2 stitches. My yarn is getting so tangled. I hate when this happens. This is so annoying. It's like so knotted. Okay, I'm definitely not going to have enough cotton for this, so I'm going to have to find something to undo to finish this off. Anyways, so I'm just continuing now to the other side. Okay, now there's 2 stitches left. I'm going to do half double crochet 2 together again. Now I'm going to chain 1 and then just repeat that. So we're just going to continue repeating that same thing for each row. So here I'm double crocheting 2 together again. Sorry, half double crocheting 2 together. By the way, the whole diaper cover is all done in half double crochet, so if I've said something else accidentally, don't get confused. Everything's in half double crochet. So now I'm just crocheting to the other end, and then I'm going to do another half double crochet 2 together in the last 2 stitches. So we're coming up now to the last 2 stitches, and I'm going to half double crochet 2 together, just like that. Chain 1, next row. So yeah, it's really easy and simple. So I'm just going to continue to do this, and then I'll measure it. Same process, I'll measure it, and then I'll tell you how long to make it, and then we'll go on to the back part. Okay, so now I've completed this front section here. So that measures to 6 centimeters, or in inches, that's about 2 inches. So now we're going to do the back portion. So the back's going to be exactly the same, and I had to very unfortunately undo heaps of yarn from something else because I ran out of yarn that I had just from that one ball. So, and then always the first row is just plain half double crochet, and I'm just going to also crochet the end in while I'm at it. And then just continue your half double crochet until you get to the other stitch marker. Okay, so now I'm crocheting the last stitch marker. Another thing I want to mention, which I didn't before, is when you are doing your stitch markers, so in between, so there was a stitch marker here, You want to make sure that this stitch count is even to the one on the opposite side, just so you can make sure that the leg holes are even. So now what we want to do after that row of just plain half double crochet is we're going to start doing the half double crochet two together stitch. So I'm going to do that in the first 2 stitches for our second row, and then I'm going to crochet all the way back along. So now I'm at my last 2 stitches here at the opposite side of the row. So I'm going to half double crochet 2 together again here. Oops. I ran out of yarn again. Damn it. That sucks. I'm just going to take out that stitch. If you need to change over yarns, this is how I do it. I'll just tie them together like this, just in a knot like that, and make sure it's tight because you don't want a big lump where that knot is. And then I'll show you how I do it. So I'll just finish this row off, and then I'll just continue crocheting. And then as you can see, it's just at the end, those 2 loose ends. So I'm just going to pull it through this loop to make it continue onto the other side like that, and then I'm just going to crochet them in so you can't see them. So now the next row I'm going to crochet 2 together. Just like that, and I'm going to continue crocheting to the other side while I crochet in these ends here. So it's exactly the same as the other side. We just want to do our half double crochet 2 together on each side for each row, and how long you want to make it is until you get down to the same amount of stitches that you ended up with your front piece here. So it is going to be longer. That's fine, that's how you want it. So yeah, I'm gonna do that, and then I'll be back once I've done that to show you what's next. Okay, so next morning, because I finished up last night at about 2 AM, so here's the diaper covers. So now I've completed this back bit. So it's slightly longer, but that's what we want. So I've got it to be the same amount of stitches on both sides there. We're now going to single crochet this together. So what I usually do is, and then I'll go through the one on that side, grab my loop from where I've chained 1, and I'll pull it through those stitches, tighten it, and chain 1 like that. And now I'll just single crochet them together. So just going through all 2 stitches and just single crocheting like that. And try to do it fairly tight with your tension so everything's neat, but not so tight that it like crinkles it up, you know, but yeah. Okay, so we've got that single crochet together and slip knot it there. And then how I do the legs, same way as everything else, I just kind of go through any hole and just try to make it as even as possible. It's really hard to get it perfect. And I'm also going to do half double crochet for the legs as well. You can do a single crochet, whatever you prefer, but I just like doing everything in half double crochet. So yeah, I'm just going to go through any hole. It's super hard to do on camera. I'm still trying to get used to like filming these YouTube videos and trying to crochet. And then I'm just going to finish off by doing a slip stitch through that first stitch we made there. And I'm going to cut off the yarn. So if you put them inside out, that's what one leg looks like. Just like that. So it just looks a lot neater than having the raw edge here. So I'm going to do the other leg and then we'll do the elastic in the waistband. Okay, so now I've cut a piece of elastic that's 38 centimeters in length. I usually use a thick kind of elastic like this for waistbands, but you can just use whatever elastic you've got. And then I've just put a safety pin on it, just like that. So now I'm going to thread this through the waistband, so through this little tube. So now once you get your elastic through there, you just want to sew it together. So just put them together on top of each other like that, and then just sew here. And then I'm just going to thread this through. So there's your waistband. We are just going to sew this area up now. So make sure that the shorts are inside out the wrong way first of all, so you can't see the stitches. And I'm going to take some of the green cotton that we're using. And then all I'm going to do here is go through, is the camera focusing? So I'm just going to go through the stitches. So there's the first ones, and then I'm just going to tie it. And then I'm just going to continue up, going into each stitch like this. Oops, sorry. So how I'm going to end it off now is I'm just going to go into any random little loop, stick my needle through like that, take the end of the thread and wrap it around the needle twice, pull the needle through, pull it tight, and that creates a knot. And then I'm just going to go through any random stitches until I get into the inside of the waistband here, and then just pull the needle through and snip it off. And that's how you can hide your end in there. Okay, so here's the finished diaper covers. I think with this cotton you can't see the seam at all, whereas this one you can. So it's better to use maybe like a slightly thicker cotton than a thinner one, because like every little imperfection shows up. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll definitely make more videos on whatever baby clothes. I'm going to link my Instagram in the description, so check it out. I have so many baby clothes on that Instagram, so if there's anything on there that you want me to make a tutorial on, I'll definitely do it. So yeah, thanks for watching everyone. Bye.